Welcome to Bikers and Backroads, the podcast about all things Harley-Davidson. We're your hosts, Jason and the Big Z, so sit back and join us as we go into this week's episode of Bikers and Backroads. Hey guys, welcome back to Bikers and Backroads. Thanks for downloading the most recent episode of Bikers and Backroads. You found us on YouTube, and you can find us on anywhere you download your audio podcasts. We're on Apple iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon. We're on Podbean. You can also find us on social media outlets such as Instagram and TikTok at Bikers and Backroads. We're on the X or Twitter at B&B Podcast or _ podcast. Sorry. But yeah, we're everywhere you can see us, so interact. Please like, share, and subscribe. In my opinion, last week's episode was one of our best episodes where we got into Xander's brain in his age group of what they're expecting from a motor company to help them remain brand loyal. This generation of his generation are very brand loyal from, I bet he's only had an iPhone in his hand from cell phones. I bet he's only had certain brands of shoes. They're very connected to marketing and supply and demand needs that they like to remain very brand loyal. I accidentally set that as a premiere last week because I thought we had the opportunity to jump on and be interactive. And in the middle of being interactive, we had a change of plans here at the house. We had to leave. The premiere started and I was on and we didn't get any comments. And then I guess I left and then some comments started coming in. And that messes up the whole algorithm of the episode. So please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, but share that video and get it pushed out because the algorithm looks at that as a dead video because we're not interacting, and it messed with our algorithm for the premiere. We've still had a fair amount of views, but in my mind, I thought that was one of our best ones. Yeah. And I just want to be able to, people to see through my eyes, what I've seen through the brand of Harley-Davidson. And I want everybody to see what Xander sees through his eyes of Harley-Davidson, being younger than me. And word on the street is some things are changing at the motor company. And your age group is going to have to be available to weather the storm of some changes in a brand that you are loyal to. One of the comments that came through later when I was checking on that was from our buddies over at Rollin' Throttle. And his intel is that you may be going back on a list and ordering your bike. And we talked about that, of going in, seeing the models, deciding what paint tinge you wanted, what trim you wanted, putting your deposit down, ordering it, and then 60 to 90 days it shows up at your dealer. And that's not something your generation is used to. But we addressed all that in there. But I do appreciate the feedback from Drew, because, like I say all the time, he's a little more plugged in than us. He's helping us grow. We're trying to be part of things they're doing over there. So all that feedback and things is very helpful. So go back and check out that episode if you missed it, or if you quit before we get to the end, scoot to the end of the video where we just start talking about our last topic of what things are looking like through Xander's eyes. And we're going to get started this week because we have a big day today. As we're recording this, we have some things to go accomplish that really does our heart and soul good for doing this. But today, in segment 1, we have secured some parts for the 07 Dyna Street Bob, and the build project is about to begin again.
Yep. So, if you heard last week, if you listened, I mentioned that we were probably going to run out and pick something up. So I have with me right now, this is the Screaming Eagle cam plate for the twin cam motors, along with the high flow oil pump from Screaming Eagle. This is going to be leading into a cam build. I'm going to finally be diving into the motor hopefully soon, or by spring or in spring, and have my bike ready by summer. And I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of what these parts are made out of. So this is coming straight from Harley's website. So this cam plate, they call this the Screaming Eagle billet cam support plate with a high volume oil pump. Just to make sure if y'all are looking this up, that's what it is called straight from their website. So this is Aluminum that is specified at 6061 billet plate, heat treated to T6 specifications with a surface hardened anodized finish to provide superior strength, rigidity, and durability. This is CNC precision, so the machining ensures precise dimensions and constant material thickness across the plate, enabling perfect alignment of cams and chains. So it's made from 660 bronze materials to enhance the wear resistance, and that's right here. And it provides higher pressure when the oil is hot to keep pressure dropped to a minimum, and increases oil supply by 16% and scavenging by 29% over the '06 and later original equipment oil pump. Those last two bullets were for this oil pump right here. I have it in the package still. I didn't take it out because the gearing, the rotating parts in the back are not, I didn't want them to fall out and lose a O-ring or something such as that nature, or not be able to get them back in. But yeah, we're pretty pumped about these. Went to a dealer not far from us, Baxter's Harley Davidson, actually. They're, still pretty local to us. They're just right across the border in Ohio. Never had been to that shop before, walked in there and asked them for these, and they had it and helped us set it all up, and it was a great experience there. And if you saw our Instagram, we actually got to put eyes on the new blood orange Road Glide there. And dude, that bike is far beautiful in person. None of the pictures, nothing online does it any justice. That's probably one of the best paint colors I've seen in person from Harley Davidson. Definitely recently, within the past 10 years or so, but it's probably one of my favorites of all time. And I think Dad can agree because he's a sucker for orange. But yeah, we're really pumped about these parts. They took care of us over at Baxter's. So if you've never been there and you're not far from it, look it up. Go there. They've got a great name for working on bikes too. Super good people over there. They helped us, guys walking around. Actually, a lady walked up. We weren't even by the parts counter because she was helping somebody else. We were over at the shirts. When they got done, I said I was going to keep an eye on the counter to go over there. When she got done, she walked over to us and asked if we needed anything. And I actually told her, I said, yes, I need to go to the parts counter to see if y'all had something. And she said, well, come on. So yeah, great customer service and everything. Exactly what we want to see from Harley Davidson. But we're pumped about these parts. Hopefully we can get some content on these. Still in the process of, trying to talk to some people about getting, cam picked out, push rods, lift, all of the things that will come with this, because I'm trying to do it right. I don't want to do it and get it running and then have something break that's not ready for it. Plus it's a 2007, so those parts are older. They've got some wear, so finding out what I can go ahead and just replace while I'm in there, even if it might not need done or it's kind of overlooked a lot of times. We're just trying to get it right and get everything set up so that way when we have it all, we can just do it all at one time.
Yep. So we definitely will be getting some content out of this. We're working pretty close with Drew. He's advising us on a lot of this stuff over at Roll and Throttle. I'm all about using your resources. We are not Harley mechanics by any stretch of the imagination. You go messing with internals in a motor. That's not my forte. There are things that I'm a specialist at that people come to me and want my opinion about. But it's not building Harley Davidson motors, and I don't care to go play in that world and let guys that know how to do it right, do it right. Especially when it's your son riding down the road on something. You want it to be done right and safe and eliminate as many variables for failure as you can. But we look forward to this build, and it's just wetting the whistle of what we're going to do to the other Dyna as we move forward. Back to the blood orange Road Glide. We've put out some things on our Instagram and TikTok and things like that. And man, I've got some hate. Not to me, but people were just slamming that bike, all built with leftover parts. I can't believe it's all blacked out, but there's machine facing on the rims. And I'm like, dude, we are not the same, because I love that bike. Granted, I have never owned a brand new motorcycle other than dirt bikes.
Yeah.
That bike was $31,900 tax, title, out the door. I mean, I'm not going to buy a $35,000 new motorcycle. I love looking, and man, as much as I would love to have it, a guy asked me on TikTok, he said, what was the price? And we had a conversation back and forth. And I said, it was $31,900 and some tax, title. And he said, whew, the last new motorcycle I bought was in 14 and it was 22 out the door. And I said, I still ride a 14 model and I didn't buy it new. And I paid $10K for mine and it had 1,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
I love the motorcycle, but I mean, that price point is, it will deter me.
Yeah.
Because there's no difference between the 2024s and the 2026s in the road glide, street glide platforms as far as motor performance, anything like that. I mean, I'll look for a used 24 with low miles and put the bolts to it and make it what I want when I'm ready to pull the trigger on a new bike. But that being said, if you're going to run out and buy one of the new ones, make sure you see that orange in person. We shot it on the iPhone and we shot it on the DJI Action Pro 5. And the Action Pro 5 video that we have actually can deduce the color a little better. The iPhone made it look kind of red. But man, that is an orange, that is orange, that is orange. And I'm sure it is in the outside sunlight, that thing pops. But it was about 26 degrees and snowing the day we went. And also, I appreciate you guys for watching the short. I put the short out about snowing and blowing snow off of the cars here. And this is why you can't ride motorcycles year-round in West Virginia. And I got a lot of love. And then I got the old Drew comment was, polar bear ride, let's go. And I'm like, brother, I am not wired for riding in the snow. I just don't. I believe in my next life I'm going to be somewhere a lot warmer, or maybe whatever. But anyway, we're going to get into something, and we mentioned this about Bill Davidson and Karen Davidson's roles at Harley Davidson changing, and it was released a couple days ago on many websites and things what the exact change is going to be. And they're pretty substantial. They're not just, for both Bill and Karen, that the fact that they are Davidsons and Willie G's kids, they're always going to be part of that legacy. That's their family business. But their leadership roles have been more of figureheads. And Bill was over a VP at the museum, which is, stellar. We've talked about that before. If he has a jewel in his crown, that museum is phenomenal. But it came out, and I first found this in an article in a newspaper out of Milwaukee. Forgive me, I don't remember the paper. I started reading the article, and it kicked me out because I wasn't a subscriber or didn't pay their subscription fee to their newspaper. And then I had to wait a couple of days for it to leak into some motorcycle magazine outlets. So I'm just going to touch base on that because we discussed that. So Bill Davidson has been named special advisor to the CEO, which we know the new CEO is Artie Starrs. He has no history of working in the motorcycle industry. It's Pizza Hut, it's Top Golf, it's those things. So he's special advisor to the CEO and brand ambassador. So it's a newly created role, and it puts him closer to being really tightly linked with product development. That's what his dad was. Brand direction and rider culture. They specifically threw brand direction and rider culture. Again, I think this is Harley Davidson corporate and the boardroom looking down the hall and saying, we've screwed this up. We're off the rails. We got to get this back. Because when we go to rallies and walk around, we feel like we're out of place. And we should be, walking. If Willie G shows up at an event, every biker wants to go get a picture and talk to Willie G, because in our minds, he's the heart and soul of Harley Davidson. The man developed the Sturgis, the Softails. I mean, he developed the Softail working with a friend off of Harley campus.
Yeah.
Had an engineer buddy. I mean, what is a great book? If you haven't read that book about Willie G, pick that up for somebody as a Christmas gift. But being over brand direction and rider culture, we're plugging back to riders. The verbiage is here. Let's see what the action does. One of the most recognizable faces at Harley Davidson, Bill Davidson, still in and around those places to the locals and the people up in Milwaukee and through the Juno buildings and at the museum. And Bill Davidson does a lot of podcasts and things like that. And he's very involved in like the homecoming and Harley's involvement in Sturgis. I mean, he's ridden to Sturgis from the time he was a young man with his parents. And now Karen Davidson, she'll continue to be the brand ambassador, now working more closely with the marketing and brand teams to deepen, here it is, dealer engagement and strengthen community connections. She's always had her hand in the motor clothes and things like that. And I mean, everybody thinks if you wear a Harley Davidson t-shirt, you're at Harley Davidson. Well, I think it became a lifestyle brand more than a motorcycle brand over the past few years. And that doesn't mean we don't need cool clothes and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think we still need things that keep them focused on being a motor company first. And getting back to engaging in dealers. We've said a lot of times, your experience at dealerships has changed. You've seen it. You've been riding a Harley Davidson for 3 years now. You've been in dealers where you walked in the door and you felt welcome. And you've been in dealerships where you walk in and they hope they don't have to talk to you. Is that a personal dealership issue? Is that a where you are? Like, I mean, I'm not saying certain dealers in certain parts of the country should feel uppity or anything like that. But what I say last week, I want to know that as a brand, everybody that walks in, the guy in the $100,000 pickup truck that pulls up that you think can buy that CVO, or the kid that comes in and is pieced together, he's wrenched on it himself, Ford Ranger, or a small truck that has saved every penny to come in and buy that Sportster.
Yeah.
Those guys should be treated exactly alike in a dealership. And I think if we're going to let Bill Davidson be part of culture and rider connection and working with the development team, and we're going to let Karen Davidson work on keeping a solid dealership engagement thing, those are two things that over the years Harley Davidson people have felt. A lot of times you go in Harley dealerships and it's just guys hanging out in there on Saturdays. They're not there to buy a $30,000 bike. They stop in there, they get the free cup of coffee, they walk around and see what t-shirt is. They might walk back in the parts department, pick up a can of cleaner, or ask when such and such parts will be available. And they might not spend $1.
And I've been that guy before. Like, we've been that guy. And we've also been the guy that's walked in to buy parts that we've seen they had. I've went in to look at bikes. I've been every type of person at a dealership, from the guy that was shopping, the guy that was just in there to look, and the person that walked in just because they didn't have anything else better to do. And they were just trying to see if they could find a conversation somewhere. So we definitely want everybody, all of those people, to be welcomed in, whether you're the Saturday hangout or the first time buyer.
I mean, in your mind, you know who runs Apple. You know who runs certain brands and companies you like, especially in your line of work. You think that a company whose name is Harley Davidson and we know it's a family company. You would think that people named Davidson or Harley or grandchildren whose names may have changed through marriage or something, but are still linked to the Harley or the Davidsons, would be involved. And the fact that they've been involved as figureheads is fine, but it tells me the fact that we've had to announce that they're being brought back into more of a significant role tells me that corporately we got off the rails. And that as well as we know, well, this is Harley Davidson and they have a history here, so we need to keep them in a role. That's almost a respect thing, but you realize that they're the only ones that know their family history, that know the struggle from the beginning. They've heard all the stories. They've listened to stories when they didn't want to listen to stories about how great-grandpa did this. And, I mean, they've lived it. They've lived through their dad working to buy it back from AMF. That's their history. And I'm sure they've seen things that are like, boy, this is just wrong. But we can't walk away in namesake because this is us. I mean, it's almost like they're going to be like, we're going to come and take this thing back if y'all don't quit screwing it up, right? But I really appreciate, good leaders surround themselves with good leaders and good advisors. So I think as much as from the outside in, bikers are screaming or riders are screaming that we need to get back to being a motor company and work on building quality motorcycles, pricing them so people can have them. I think we're screaming for that, and to see corporate saying, hey, we hear all these people and we don't know how to fix it. Well, we only know a couple people that can fix it. And it's the Davidsons, right?
Yeah. It's awesome to see the name, the actual Harley name, or the Davidson name, be back into the Harley Davidson brand. Yeah, like, granted, they never left, but for them to actually be shot callers, or not necessarily fully, they're influencing the shot callers. That's exciting to see. It's awesome to see. That's history in the making right there. And it could potentially go either way. So it's going to be awesome to see how it goes from the start and watch that build.
Well, I mean, if you go into some of the financials of motorcycles through the whole course of the year, you always said Harley Davidson number one competitor for new motorcycles is used Harley Davidsons. Well, right now we've got motorcycles in the $30,000 range to $50,000 if you want a CVO. But this year in the financial, and we've even done shows about you can get a good Harley Davidson under 10 grand for your first bike. You probably can get one for 6 grand if you're willing to drive a little bit and go to an area that's got more flooded market. A bike up here that's going for $8,000 used in a good condition. I have a cousin in Tampa. That bike's like a $6,200 price tag down there for him. We've compared notes. But if you look, the used motorcycle market is not strong right now in revenue. Like, if you're tracking money going through, unless private sellers aren't releasing these things, people aren't going into dealerships and buying tons of used bikes.
I mean, think about the last couple times we've been into dealerships. We have not seen very many used bikes on the floor. There's always one or two, but between trips, they're not there. Again, I have not seen very many used bikes time and time again, and at that, it's not necessarily very many of them. Because I can remember 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when I was shopping for my first bike, we went into dealerships and they would have a great selection of used bikes. And I ended up getting mine, private sale. But even after that, in the past, 3 years that I have been riding, I've noticed that slight decline in the used bikes on showroom floors. But they still are like, hey, we know of this bike or something. But you got to have connections for that. But yeah, I mean, the show of used bikes is definitely declining.
We were just at Baxter's, and they had a couple solid, nice used bikes. Like they had a Softail Deluxe that was beautiful, priced kind of aggressive, I think. But the used bikes that you're seeing, to me, that's not the bike I'm going in to buy. I mean, we've been in dealerships where they have 4 Sportster S's and 3 Nightsters. In the used side, that got somebody on a bike, but that's a hard resale, I think. Because your used price is not much, if sometimes less than $1,000 off of the new one. And if somebody's walking in and financing, they're going to get probably a better rate to buy the new one. They're going to get a warranty they think they really need, and things like that. So I think the price point of motorcycles is ridiculous right now, I think. And I'm just a consumer, and my bike's paid for. And if I choose to not buy a new one, I've got one to ride. And I've got usable money to fix it if it breaks down. If I want to upgrade my ride, I'm going to be very selective. I'm not going to be, listen, we know how I am. I'm not very compulsive in buying things. I research, think, twist, turn, fight with it. I mean, I'll shop a year to buy a vehicle. But at the same time, as much as I love that orange road, I mean, I would have it. Oh my gosh, if it showed up here on a trailer and it was my present from my wife, I'd be paying for it, but I would be like, ugh. But I would smile every time I rode it.
Absolutely.
Until I wrote that payment. But at the same time, we just have to stay in an area where being part of this community is affordable. We don't want to drive people away from motorcycling just because of cost, because it's so freeing. It is a mental outlet for me, for sure. So we're going to get ready and we'll wrap this up. Again, Davidson's back with more figurative or more important roles, not just figurehead titles, more active. It's going to be exciting to see what's coming in 2026. I'd love to get a notification that Karen Davidson's going to be at my local dealership to just watch interaction, or Bill Davidson's going to breeze by and see just what the culture is at a bike night around here. I mean, we're small. That's not going to happen. But I mean, if you went to a ride that was not a Sturgis or a Daytona Bike Week, if you went to an event and they showed up, because that's the pulse. Some of these big rallies and stuff are so corporate and things like that. It's the small things. That's where I want to see them get involved. It's back to the smaller things that are more rider generated, and that's where I think they're going to have the most input. There is, hey, we can change some things up here, and again, we've said we've got to get back to the rider, and we've got to get back to taking care of dealerships, and I think those two titles, with the descriptions written in, both are about culture and dealerships.
Yeah. So we've been talking about, gifts and for the riders in your family, or stuff for yourself, but we went all the way up different, levels and tiers of cost. Last week we talked about $1,000 and a little bit up was the budget. So today we're just going to talk about some last-minute gifts. These could be, cheap to a little bit more expensive, but they're last minute. And the first one we came up with was, a thumb screw for your seat to screw into the back on the fender. Usually stock, they come with like an Allen head or a Torx head bolt. A lot of guys like to change them to just a big thumb screw that you can turn out with your hand. Both of us have one. They're a great little piece to add to your bike because they can be anywhere from just solid black, chrome. You can get them with, emblems etched onto the top of them. All different kinds of styles, all different kinds of looks, and they're just another way to make your bike a little bit different than bone stock and factory. But they're everywhere from in the dealership. You can look online. Of a couple brands.
Oh, you can do, thrashing guys do thumb screws, and theirs comes with a little, they actually have, you can tighten it down, but it has a little wrench that tightens down that goes right on your keychain. Advan Black has them. Like he said, you can get them anodized to color, like accent colors on your bike. If you have a red pinstripe, you could get a red thumb screw or a seat screw. Those are not expensive, but just a little something to throw in. Again, Advan Black, thrashing. Some of them do lock. Some people are more nervous about their seats getting stolen. I mean, you walk out to your bike and a $500 seat stolen. One, you're out the money, and now you're uncomfortable on the ride home. You're going to get a pillow, sit on your jacket, something like that. But at the same time, you can make them very simple, or you can get them that lock down and have a release, a special locking mechanism, or the way they lock down is a special tool that you keep clipped to your key ring or whatever.
Yeah. A second thing we kind of came up with, which we've mentioned before, which was detail kits. With this, we could say maybe not the full-blown kit, maybe like the pieces of like a certain cleaner, a certain aerosol spray that they like to wipe their bike down, hogwash or quick detailer, those kind of things. Always need PB blaster for working on stuff. If you've got older bikes like us, that stuff gets crusty from the road. If you go to work on something, we always try to make sure we oil them up a little bit before we start wrenching on them. But yeah, those detail kits and aerosol cans of things like that, of PB Blaster, WD-40, all of that stuff is great. Because it's just those things that you hate to buy, even though they're not that expensive. If you're buying them one at a time, the detail kits could be a little bit pricey, really as pricey as you want to make them. But those are great gifts, great stocking stuffers. Because like I said, it's stuff that you just hate to buy for yourself, but you need it and you use it. It's just one of those items that are going to always be nice to have.
Yeah. Detail kits, like over on Rolling Throttle, they carry the Clockworks line of cleaners, and their quick detail spray is awesome. You can use it even on windshields and mirrors. It doesn't streak. Clockworks sells tons of aftermarket windscreens. We know that, and windshields, fairings, they do it all. But their quick spray, it's like $6. But you can get a wash and a detail spray for like $19 or something, depending on the size of the bottles. But you can get those over at Rolling Throttle. You can get them at Clockworks. You can get them anywhere like that. But we've used Swine Shine or whatever the Harley one is, a quick detail spray, Lucas, things like that. But all those are like $6 to $10, just quick wipe off of your bike. You've ridden it all day, or it's set out at night when you've went out and you've been out camping, or you've been out on a rally or something. Air, dust, whatever. You quick detail, microfiber cloth, wipe your bike up. It gets clean, and you're ready to roll. You can even use the Clockwork stuff on your exhaust, and it doesn't streak on. It's safe for any surface. So,
yeah. This is more for your rider to rider, but your safety bell or gremlin bells, you can pick those up at the shops. A lot of the times, most Harley dealerships carry them. They're kind of usually always on the counter by where they have the jewelry and things like that. You can also find them online, and these come in literally any style you can think of. They're more dressed up. They're more plain. They look like bells. They look like pistons. They look like everything. I know both of us have one we've got from each other, and both of them look different than another. So these are great gifts. It's going to mean a lot, whether you believe in them or not. It's still going to be one of those thought that counts gifts, and they can mean a lot to whoever you're giving them to. Yeah, these are. I would suggest this to anybody that would want one, because it definitely meant a lot whenever I received mine. And I would say Dad's felt the same way.
Enjoyed it.
Gift cards. Harley Davidson gift cards are always good because you can go in and get whatever you want, especially if you are one of those people that don't know what size they're going to wear or what they would even want. But a lot of family members get me Harley Davidson gift cards around the holiday season and birthdays, and I always enjoy them because there's always something I go in there and find that I don't want to spend my money on, but I think it's cool. Hey, gift cards are great for that because there's always going to be something. You never know if you want a sign, a coaster, or you don't know because Harley makes literally everything with their brand on it. So T-shirts and stuff, they're always coming out with me.
It's nice to look in when you're going in and you're getting if you go to your Harley shop to get your oil change kit and you open your wallet and you see a gift card that you haven't spent, and you're like, oh, I got a $150 oil change coming up. I got a $50 gift card or a $25 gift card. Yeah. That's just like free money. So I keep gift cards for things like that, like you do. But you can also use gift cards online. You can use your gift cards on trips if you're at like the museum or things like that. You can use your Harley Davidson gift card anywhere, and you can pick them up around here at Kroger, any other stores. They carry them a lot in other places where they have like gift card kiosks. So
this is another one I wish we would have talked about before, but both of us are looking into getting something like this, is a kickstand puck. If you walk into a dealership, most of the time they're going to have the new bikes on the showroom floor with a puck underneath the kickstand. And some bikes come with them, sometimes they don't. A lot of the baggers usually always have them. But those kickstand pucks, you put them on the ground and put your kickstand on it. That way it doesn't sink into like hot asphalt. If you've ever rode somewhere that gets really, really hot and you've parked in an asphalt parking lot, sometimes they will sink down. Or if you go and park in the grass somewhere, that was something I really wish I would have had. We talked a few weeks ago how I went on a ride with a friend to a local farm around here that does like a holiday thing around Halloween. But you parked in like a grass hayfield. That's where all the cars and everything parked. And there's a lot of guys on motorcycles that ride out there too. But I didn't have a puck, and neither did the guy I was with. We both kind of were worried about, the kickstand sinking up and walking out. We're hoping we didn't walk out to our bikes on their side. Luckily they didn't, but a kickstand puck would have saved me for sure in that, or at least helped deter it a little bit more. You can find these, a lot online, probably more. I've not seen very many of them in stores necessarily. But if you have a 3D printer or something, or know somebody with a 3D printer, hey, have them, make something like that. That's some way you could make it super cool. I'm sure they're online. There's shops and eBay stores that are people that just do 3D printing stuff like that. I'm sure you could get with somebody and make a custom one, because both of us know a guy and we're trying to talk. We've talked about talking to him to getting us something cool made like that. But yeah, kickstand puck, that's a great one that I don't think it's talked about very much, and it's not one of them things you'd use every time, but it's going to get you out of a bind.
If you go anywhere, you'll see some old school bikers, man. They'll grab a smashed up soda can or whatever type of can, and they'll smash it and slide it under just to disperse that force if you're on hot asphalt, if you're on soft ground. I mean, I've seen guys look around and find a little piece of wood. I've seen guys use rocks. Like push a rock down in the ground and set their kickstand so that it's down in there, but it's not going to go any farther or anything like that. But it's just a great way to disperse it. I thought about this when we were in Baxter's the other day. They actually had on for sale on the end cap the same ones they use on the floor that have the channels on the sides. They're pretty large oval, and they had every bike on a puck there. But it's a simple thing. I remember the first time I did when I did my motorcycle safety foundation course, we got those. Like when we completed our pack, I had a Buell X1 was my first motorcycle. X1 Lightning Buell 2000 model. And when we got our certificate of completing our motorcycle safety foundation, we got stickers, and mine was like lime green, circular puck. It looked like a huge poker chip, but it just said Motorcycle Safety Foundation, and I threw it under I had a sport bike, so I just would lift my seat up, throw it in that little under storage, and if I pulled up somewhere, just pulled it out as I I had a helmet, old school cable system that you could lock your helmet up under your seat, like running a cable through your D-ring and then putting it on your seat and locking it back down. And as I would lock my helmet on my bike, I would pull that puck out and put it down. But now, you could keep it in your jacket pocket or anything, most of them, or bags. Everybody has a little bit of storage, and if not, you're looking for a little bit of a storage option. But there's ways to keep those there. And kickstands now have a little longer lever arm to disperse that. But bikes, an 800-pound bagger puts a little bit of a footprint down on the ground when it's on a 4-inch long or a 3-inch long by an inch wide piece of contact to the ground at an angle. So kickstand pucks are a solid idea. We should have talked about those earlier. So these gifts are probably under $25 is
Most
what we're
of them,
thinking. We started at around the 50 to 100. We went to 500, and now we did 1,000, and now we're just back wrapping up some stocking stuffers and some gift ideas for you. But this is our last segment today. We got a 4-segment show because we got to get out of here. Your guys are going to be seeing this on Sunday, so it's already going to be done. But today is the past couple years. I think this is the 4th time I've done this. Is our Wreaths Across America, where you go place wreaths on headstones at military cemeteries. Military service is pretty big in our family. I myself did not serve.
I did not either.
My uncles, my dad, my grandfathers on either side have all served in the military. My father is slated to be, when the time comes, he will be laid to rest in a military cemetery. So we got involved when researching all this with doing Wreaths Across America. So today we're going to go out and do Wreaths Across America. It's a chance to serve, to honor those who paid a price, served our country. Some came back, lived full lives, have been buried in military cemeteries. Some paid the ultimate sacrifice, and now they're buried here around us. And this to us is in Dunbar and Institute area, the Kennard Memorial, the military cemetery. So we're going to go up there. It's a chance, again, for us to serve and say thank you. And I think that's big. This time of year is very busy. Like today, we have 10 things we need to get done today.
Yeah.
And it's a Saturday when we're recording this. My wife is currently away at a college graduation. We're going to do Wreaths Across America. Like I said, I have one day in December every year that I book this. So that, and the past couple years, everybody knows, hey, this is the one Saturday Jason is busy. If you need us to do something, it'll have to be before or after Wreaths Across America because he does this. Yeah. So I'm missing graduation for my niece. Congrats. But we're just unable to be there because this is a commitment we've already made. But you still got to be those people that look out and help and serve others. And this type of year, you run, and you get so focused on you, and what you have to do and what you have to get done. And even I just said, this is the Saturday that I have to do and things like that. But we are getting too far removed from a society that helps others and serves others and pays honor to those who have gone on before. Every year I learn something new. And every year a different Gold Star mother whose child has paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom addresses the crowd. And then we proceed to do Wreaths Across America. And it's very moving. And if you want to get involved in something great, look at your local Wreaths Across America. My daughter did it last year with Marshall Cheer, and she was at a different place than we were. And she came home and was like, that was so awesome. Very moved by that. But even in our culture, or even and I think culture and community and motorcycling get intertwined. I think you can be part of the motorcycle community and not appreciate or understand the culture. I think being in the community is riding a motorcycle, wearing your stuff, waving at the guy on the side of the road. I think culture stops and helps a broke down motorcyclist on the side of the road, helps a guy wrench on his bike, make sure he gets home safe. I think in our society, in our culture, we are losing that ability to put others first, or maybe sacrifice a little bit of yourself to help others. And what's your thoughts, man? You've been the past couple years with me. What do you think about Reads Across America and just helping others? I mean, you help everybody.
Yeah.
That's just who you are. I hope we raised you that way. But there's nobody that calls here and asks you to help that you don't run out and help them.
Well, I think it's important to give back, and especially the fact that there's this is a way for, as a civilian, someone who didn't serve, which I am very thankful for all the veterans who have served. This is a way for me to kind of show honor to them for paying this, ultimate sacrifice, but also show honor to their families who, raised them and allowed them to go and, prepared them to grow into the man or woman that they became to go and serve and fight for this country. That just feels very, it feels great to know that you've done that little thing that could change somebody's whole outlook on this season. Sometimes it's their first Christmas without them, and sometimes it's also their many, many Christmases without them. But hey, that family loves to come see and talk and tell you about them. You'll get to hear some stories about that person if you run into the family. So that's just a very awesome thing to be a part of in my mind. But also I know that there's a lot of, veteran riders that probably are going to be here. So not only from just the perspective of, honoring our veterans, you might get to see some bike culture as a part of this. The past couple years, there have been some guys come on, bikes, and they might be a small group of friends that ride together.
Like a veteran riding group.
Veteran riding group. But it's just great to be a part of this, and not only for the motorcycle aspect side of it, but just from the humanitarian side of it.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, Christmas is a wonderful season, and we love it. We enjoy it. We're going to do shows every week through. I think the last week of the year, we're going to lay out some plans for next year, just some teasers for upcoming and things like that, and just really maybe look back and see what this little creative outlet for us has done. I know when we hear from people through the week and comments, it makes us happy. I think we do this as a little bit of therapeutic stuff for us. But, I mean, I want to say if nobody watched this, I'd love to do this and sit and talk to you like this and spend that time. And that's the things. When I'm doing Reads Across America, I think, wonder what that conversation would be like at Christmas at that table if this person, I mean, you see people that in our minds are too young to have passed on.
Yeah.
What's that conversation? What would that have been at that table this Christmas? Because I know what we talk about and hang out and goof off and stuff like that. We play hard and we work hard and we play hard. So that's just what we do, and we enjoy each other's times and families. And I think that's one of the things about Reads Across America is no matter what your economic status is, everybody there is on a level playing field because you put wreaths on people's headstones that you never met. You don't know their names. The Boy Scouts are there helping hand out these wreaths to people, and they're serving in their community. But everybody is there just to take an hour and a half and just say thank you. And you don't have to be too poor to say thank you. You don't have to be too rich to say thank you. You're never too blessed to say thank you, and you're never too without to say thank you or I appreciate you. It is a lost art in our society. It is a lost art in cultures, whatever it is. If you like cars, if you like motorcycles, if you like sports and spending time with those people, I mean, somebody has helped you along the way. If it's, hey, get me a ticket for this event, thank you goes a long way. Or, hey, man, I'm broke down. Can you bring me some? I'm out of gas. Can you stop and give me? Thank you for helping me. Like I said before, we had an incident on the road this year and pulled off to work on your bike with about 10 other bikers in this lot. None of them came over and asked if they could help us. They all had people meeting up with them. As soon as the last person arrived, they all went off from us. Mm-hmm. I'm not judging. I don't know who they were. They weren't with a riding club. They didn't have colors or patches or nothing like that. And I'm not even upset. We had tools. Mm-hmm. We rigged it the best we could. It didn't hurt us, but I don't want to be that guy. I want to believe that I would have pulled over and been like, hey, we have a few tools. Anything we can help you with? I mean, hey, can we run up here and get something for you? Can we make a phone call? Mm-hmm. I mean, is your phone not working? Or I mean, whatever it takes. I don't want to be a text you everything person. I want to be a person that gets involved. I want to be a person, if you help me, I'm going to help you. Not just say, well, I'll think about it, or I'll be wishing you well, or if I get a chance, I'll come. No. I want to be somebody that somebody is proud to call friend, brother, son, husband, dad, co-worker. I think we get way too much in our feelings and in ourselves, and we become very isolated because we don't reach out to help anybody, and then we look around and we don't have anybody that we can relate to, and it's because we haven't tried to help anybody. And there's a lot of things we do to help and do things, but Reads Across America gives us that chance. So again, you're going to be seeing this on Sunday. It's already going to have happened, but if you got to do it, mention it in our comments. If this is something you get involved with, absolutely. We're going to put some pictures out on our social media of Bikers and Backroads of us when we're doing this. I'll take some pictures. I mean, it's a very weird and morbid thought, but it's one of the most beautiful things. All these white headstones with these wreaths on them. And if there's any snow on the ground, it's humbling. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's just where I am. I know there's all these debates about culture and things, and I think that society in general is losing our sense of community. But I think you can also be part of a community and not really be understanding the culture. You might not want to be part of some of the culture, some of the subcultures, like we're in the community of motorcycling. We're in the culture of riding a Harley Davidson. We're also in a subculture of owning Dynas. Yeah. But at the same time, there are parts of it that I don't understand, and there are parts of it that just don't appeal to me. Yeah. I'm not going to be upset at my culture of Harley Davidson for not appreciating the community of the guy who rides a different brand, but rides that motorcycle for the same reasons I ride. I think we have a whole lot more in common than we do different. And if we don't, then let's start with this. If you like hamburgers, I like hamburgers. Let's go get a hamburger. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out about each other. I think that's what we're missing. Going back to rider and culture and dealership engagements. I remember when the push was to put a diner in every dealership. When Benji had the dealership in Huntington, he put in a diner. And now all those diners are closed in dealerships. Well, that's not Harley's corporate vision anymore. There was a lot of good conversations had between guys who wouldn't have sat down beside each other at a long bar top to eat a sandwich while their bike was getting serviced. Mm-hmm. And we're probably missing that. Are we going to put restaurants back in every dealership? I doubt it. But that's an opportunity that we're missing. We walk around with our phones. We text people. We don't have a lot of. There's a lot of people that don't have verbal conversations every day, hardly with anybody anymore. That's why I love what I do. I have to talk all day. But what's your thoughts, man? I mean, I'm not trying to ramble on. We're going to close this out, but give me a little bit of your synopsis here, what you think, and then take us out.
Yeah, like you said, there's community in bikes. There's the culture behind it. Some guys just like to be a part of the community and just, ride on Saturday. Maybe not a big bike night person because they're more to themselves. But engage in the culture, learn about it, find what appeals to you, because there's going to be a subculture that you can find out there that you're a part of, which is what we found. And, the Reeds Across America, a very humbling experience. If you've never done it before, and if this is your first time ever hearing about it, hey, I suggest you research about it and find out if there's anywhere you can do it close to you. I think it's something everybody should do at least once, especially to give back to the troops that protect this country and homeland, because there's no better place to live than the United States of America. And we're going to do this. We're going to continue to do this. Along with the podcast, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate everybody, giving us comments, talking out to us. We mentioned that we made it a premiere by accident and then we had things to do. But if you would like that style of video or drops in the future, let us know, because that is something that we would like to continue to do, especially whenever we have the chance to stay and engage in conversations and comments and things of that nature while the video's playing. So let us know if you would like to continue with a premiere, or let that be every now and again thing. We would like to do that. But that's all for the conversation today, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, we're on all of the places that have podcasts on them. So wherever you listen to, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon, all that. If you're watching us right now, you've already found us on YouTube at Bikers and Backroads. We're on, TikTok, X, Instagram, all Bikers and Backroads, but X is B&B_pod. But appreciate everything you do on the YouTube side. We would love to see your likes and, comments on the social media side, but we appreciate y'all. Merry Christmas through this season, and we'll holler at y'all later.
We still got more shows. We'll be back next week. Again, like he said, if you would love to do the premiere where we could do some chatting, or even if you would like to see us do a live, those are easier for us to do on the weekends. The premiere is definitely easier when we release a video on a Sunday, because we're more available. So that's just some adjustments we've seen in doing 17 podcasts is, hey, it's easier for us to not panic to record a certain night, to get it edited, to get it put out, and then we can't interact as much. So yeah, that being said, we're looking to grow and we're looking to get better. So you guys stay safe and be blessed. We'll see you next time.